All right, we're going to talk about something that's really tough, but also incredibly important. The psychology behind why sometimes you just have to step away from a relationship. This isn't about giving up, it's about safeguarding your own peace. You know that feeling, right? You hang up the phone or walk away from a conversation, and you just feel empty, exhausted, and you can't even explain why. If that sounds familiar, I want you to know your experience is totally valid, and there are very real psychological reasons behind it. So, this requires a little shift in how we think about it. Stepping away isn't about anger or revenge. It's a proactive, healthy choice called psychological safeguarding. It's basically you recognizing that a connection is costing you way more than it's giving you, and you're choosing to protect your own mental health. And look, it makes perfect sense why we wait so long to do this. I mean, you have a shared history with this person, right? You feel guilty, or you just keep hoping that things will finally get better. But what's happening in your brain is this intense battle, this stress from holding two opposite ideas. I care about this person, and this person is hurting me. Staying stuck in the middle of that conflict, it takes a serious toll. Okay, so let's get into the specifics. We'll start with the signs you can actually see, the things you can observe in the other person's actions. These are the external red flags. The first huge external sign is the constant disrespect of your boundaries. In a healthy relationship, when you say no, that's it, conversation over. But in a draining one, your no is just the starting point for a negotiation you never wanted to be in. When someone constantly treats your limits like a game or a challenge to be won, that's not a misunderstanding, that's a pattern. And this has a real physical cost. Your brain is literally forced into a constant state of high alert. We can call it defense mode. This ongoing stress is exactly why you feel that deep emotional exhaustion we talked about. In a situation like this, creating distance isn't mean. It's a tool for your own safety. The second big external sign, a relationship that is completely one-sided. Just take a look at this chart. Does this dynamic feel a little familiar? We all know that good connections are a two-way street. It takes effort from both people. So you have to ask yourself, are you the only one putting in the work here? Are you always the one fixing things, making the calls, offering all the understanding, but getting almost none of it back? That kind of imbalance always leads to resentment and burnout. Sometimes stepping away is the only way to get your own life back in balance. Okay, so we've looked at their behavior. But just as important, if not more so, is looking inward. We're shifting from the external red flags to your own internal experience. It's time to listen to that gut feeling, your internal compass. Our bodies are smart. They often know the truth way before our minds are ready to accept it. That knot in your stomach, the tension in your shoulders, that feeling of anxiety when you see their name pop up on your phone, that's not in your head. That's your nervous system sending you a very clear warning signal. And another one of these internal signs is emotional manipulation, especially through guilt. This quote just nails it, doesn't it? You go to them because you've been hurt by something they did, and somehow, by the end of the conversation, you're the one saying sorry. That tactic creates this thick fog of self-doubt that makes you question your own reality. And let's be really clear about this. If guilt is the glue holding a relationship together, that connection's already unhealthy. It's just not sustainable. This brings us to the final and maybe the most powerful sign of all. When you finally recognize the unchanging pattern. This is when you have to look at the history of the relationship, not with hope for what it could be, but with honesty for what it actually is. This slide lays out that frustrating loop perfectly. Step 1, a line is crossed. Step 2, you speak up and say you're hurt. Step 3, they apologize, maybe they make excuses, promise it won't happen again. And for a little while, things seem okay. But then, step 4, the behavior repeats. Recognizing that you're stuck in this cycle is the most important step you can take. Because here's the hard truth, and it's backed by psychology. The single best predictor of future behavior is past behavior. So if you've given countless chances and this pattern just keeps repeating, staying in that cycle is a choice. It's an unspoken acceptance that things probably aren't going to change. So what do you do with that realization? It leads us to the final, and frankly, the most empowered solution there is, choosing to put your own peace ahead of a painful history. You see, the decision to finally step away often comes from a place of what we can call psychological overload. And I want you to hear this.
It's not a failure on your part. It's your brain going into a natural, necessary protection mode because the emotional cost has just become too high.
And this right here, this is the core idea. It's about realizing that your mental peace and your well-being in the present are so much more valuable than a shared past that is actively hurting you. Your history with someone does not obligate you to a future of pain. Ultimately, you're the gatekeeper of your own energy and your own mental health. Not everyone has earned the right to have unlimited access to you. So the question I want to leave you with is this: who has that access to your life, and is the price you're paying for it really worth it?